we're going to work on a solo ukulele arrangement of the tune Make You Feel My Love. It was originally written by Bob Dylan, and Adele did a cover just a few years back. Now let's go ahead and dive into this, starting with the intro. Now, as far as the playing hand goes, there's two main techniques I like to use with this song. You really can use either or. The first one is just finger picking. Station one finger per string, and when you see the string needing to be played, use the proper finger. More information down below for finger picking stuff, as well as where you can get the tab that's seen on screen. Now, the other technique, the one that I like to use a little bit more, is called a rest stroke. What that is taking your thumb and strumming through the strings individually. And whenever you need to stop, you just rest your thumb on the string that you're stopping on. So in the case of this very beginning part, you'll notice that the A string is not played. So you'll strike through with your thumb and rest on the A string as you go through. Now, here's what this intro part sounds like, or at least the first 4 bars, so that you can hear it. Here we go. Now, to go ahead and give this a go, we're going to start with our ring finger here on the 3rd fret of the E string, strum through our G, C, and E together. We're going to play that again. Play the open C string. And now play 3 on the A with your pinky finger here. And the reason we're using the pinky is we go into the next measure here. We're going to take our pinky off, but leave our ring where it is and build a G chord around it. Index finger here on the 2nd fret of the C string, middle finger here on the 2nd fret of the A string. And then we're going to play that chord a second time. And then we're going to play 3 on the E, which is already there, 2 on the C. Going into the 3rd measure, we go to this little B flat chord. Take your ring finger, kick it up to the 3rd fret of this G string, index finger down to the 1st fret of the E string, and middle up to the 2nd fret of the C string. So we have 3, 2, 1. We're going to do a rest stroke or finger pick here, making sure we don't touch the A string. We're going to do that a second time. We're then going to play the E string and the C string on 1 and 2, which is already there. Switch this to an F chord, take the ring finger off, move the middle finger up 1 string to the 2nd fret of the G string, leave the index finger where it was, strum through these 3, G, C, E, do that a second time, play the C string, and then play the E string. And then to hear this all together again, here's measures 1 through 4. Going right into now 5, 6, 7, and 8 should sound something like this. And to play that, we're going to start here on measure 5 with this little F minor chord. Index finger on the 1st fret of the G string, middle finger here on the 1st fret of the E string. Strum through our G, C, E together. A second time. Then we're going to play 3 on the E. I like to use my pinky finger here. Then 1 on the E, which your middle finger should already still be on. Now we open it up, G, C, E, A. Do that a second time. Open on the E. Open on the C. We're going to play this little D7. We're going to use our middle and ring fingers to do this. Middle finger here on the 2nd fret of the G string. Ring finger here on the 2nd fret of the E string. Strum through the G, C, E. Then we're going to do an F, just take the ring finger off, add the index on 1 of the E, strum through those 3 strings again. And we just take everything off and play open and again. So those 4 bars, 5, 6, 7, and 8, should sound something like this. Now from here we go into the chorus, and you'll notice that there are words to follow along with so that you can hear the melody in your head. The intro obviously usually has a piano playing it. We're just kind of doing an emulation of that. From this point on, notes that have words, play them a little bit louder. Things that don't have words, play them a little bit softer, and your chord melody arrangement's going to sound so much better. But so that we can hear it, here's what 9, 10, 11, and 12 should sound like. Should be something like this. Now, when we go through this, first thing we play is a C chord. We can just take our ring finger, place down the 3rd fret of the A string, strum through. Playing it softer. No lyric with the C chord, so I'm just kind of strumming it nice and soft with my thumb. I could also pick it soft if I wanted to. Then I'm going to play 3 on the E for the words when the rain is. I'm just going to take my middle finger, place it on there. I'm going to play that 3 on the E. When the rain is. And now we're going to play blowing. We're going to take our index finger, place it on the first fret of the E string, blow, and then ing, take it off. Going into the next measure here, measure 10. We're going to play a G chord, index here on the second fret of the C string, ring finger here on the third fret of the E string, middle finger here on the second fret of the A string. Strum through our G, C, and E strings, in, and then your face is going to be 2 on the A twice. Then we're going to softly strum a G chord for a filler there. Notice there's no lyric associated. We go on to measure 11. We're going to play a B flat, take that ring finger, kick it up to 3 on the G string, add the middle here on 2 of the C, index here on 1 of the E. We're going to strum through our G, C, E strings together. And then we're going to take our pinky and we're going to stack it in underneath here to the 3rd fret of the E string. And we're going to play that for the words and the whole. And then world, we're going to take that pinky off, world. And then is, we take the index off. And then to go on your case, we go to an F chord. So bring the middle finger up to the 2nd fret of the G string, index to the 1st fret of the E string, strum through the G, C, and E, on, and then your case, open C twice, and then strum through for a filler. So you'll notice that we're trying to make sure we're layering the melody and the harmony, which is kind of the vocals and the chords as we go through. But let's go in here, 9, 10, 11, and 12. This time I'm going to say the words as I'm playing it. Forgive me if I stumble. It sounds something like this. When the rain is blowing in your face, and the whole world is on your case. From here we go on to measure 13, and 13, 14, 15, 16 should sound something like this. And this is really my favorite part of the song. It's the hook, right? To make you feel my love, name of the song. Let's go ahead and start at 13. We're going to play that F minor we did earlier. Index finger here on the 1st fret of the G string, middle finger here on the 1st fret of the E string. Strum through our G, C, E. Be very careful not to hit that A string. If you do, it's awful. We're just playing the G, C, E. We're going to play the E string 3 times on the 1 for I could off, and then you. To do that, we just play the open E twice and 2 on the C. We can just take our middle finger, play it there. And then warm, we're going to take it all off, play our G, C, E strings. And then embrace, 0 C twice. Filler on the C chord. Now we go to that D7, but we're going to play it differently than we did last time. Index finger here on the 2nd fret of the G string. Middle finger here on the 2nd fret of the E string. We're going to strum our G, C, and E strings together. Then 3 on the A string, we're going to use our ring finger. So that's to make. And then this is tricky. We're going to slide that ring finger all the way up to fret 7 on the A and play that for the word you. And then we're going to slide it all the way back down to 3 and add our index finger here on 1 of the E, strumming our C, E, and A strings together for the word feel. And then 3 again, my, and then take the index off for a C chord, all open with the 3 on the A, love. Really tricky little part. Let's just look at that again on measure 15. So it goes to make, and then slide up, you, slide back down, feel my love. So the thing to practice with this is getting really comfortable with. Now, if you struggle getting there in time and you find that's lagging, be sure to check out a video I did a couple weeks ago on what's called predictive fretting. It's a concept that's really helpful when you're jumping from 3 to 7 back down to 3. So be sure to check that out. It's linked down below. But that 15 sounds like this. To make you feel my love. And then we have a little filler here. We're going to play open on the C, open on the E, open on the G, 3 on the A, and open on the G. And this works both with high G and low G. You'll just notice with your low G, it sounds a little bit different. But let's go ahead and hear measures 13, 14, 15, and 16 should be something like this. I could offer you. See, it's easy to mess up the words. Reading and playing is hard. But let me try that again. I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. Now, what's cool about this is it repeats. This was the chorus, and we play it twice. So what we do is we repeat back to measure 9, and we go back through. After you've done it the second time, you now go on to the next section, which is going to be measure 17, starting the bridge. This is a little more tricky, but still works pretty well. We're going to start with an F chord, middle finger on the second fret of the G string, index here on the first fret of the E string, strum through all 4 strings. Then we're going to take the ring finger and place it on the third fret of the A string. Can be a little bit of a stretch. And we're going to play that note for I know you haven't. So it's a lot on there, and then 2 on the A. Made and your open on the A. So you can see right away it uses lots of movement for the melody. Now just for the context, I'm going to play 17, 18, 19, and 20 so that you can hear it, keeping in mind how many times these notes are being played. Should sound something like this. So now to play this, again, we looked at measure 17. Going into 18, we're going to take our ring finger, add it on the third fret of the E string, play 0 on the C, 0 on the G, 0 on the C, 3 on the E, 0 on the C twice. So that's mind up yet. Little filler chord on a C chord. Then we're going to play this little augmented chord, and it's kind of tricky. We're going to use our index finger here on the first fret of the G string, and we're going to pluck our C and E, or excuse me, our C and G together. Now you could still use a rest stroke if you'd like here. I think the plucking is just a little bit more accurate. And then you're going to play open on the E for but I will, and then never do you is going to move that middle finger up to the second fret of the G string. We're going to strum our G, C, and E together. Take your ring finger, add it on the second fret of the C string, do, you. So that measures a little bit dicey. But I will never do you. And then wrong is going to be 0 on the C. And a little filler here on a C chord. Take your ring finger, place it on the third fret of the A string, pluck the C, E, G, A, and G. So those first 4 bars of the bridge should sound something like this with the words. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I will, and then never do you wrong. Going into the next section should sound something like this, 21, 22, 23, and 24. You'll hear that kind of wraps up that bridge. To play it, we start off the exact same way we started the bridge. Measure 21 here is exactly the same as measure 17 was, just with different words. I've known it from the moment. Exactly the same. Then we go that we met, a little different. We're going to take our ring finger, place on the third fret of the E string, strum through our G, C, E together. That, and then we, 3 on the E again. And then met, we can just move that ring finger down, play a C chord all the way through. Interesting thing to note, most of the times we play a C chord like that's a filler. Not here. This is the word met. Really important to really enunciate that. And then we go to 22. We're going to play this kind of pseudo D chord, index finger here on the second fret of the G string, middle finger here on the second fret of the C string. We're going to strum through our G, C, E with our E string being open. No, and then we're going to play 2 on the C, doubt, again, in, my, open on the E, Mind, open on the E. Where, open on the E. 3 on the E with the ring finger. And then open on the C for U, B, and then long. You're going to build a G7 chord. Start with your middle finger here on the 2nd fret of the C string. Then add the index on 1 on the E. No lyric there, so a little quieter. 2 on the A. And then strum through. And that wraps up that bridge section. But let's go ahead and hear measures 21, 22, 23, and 24 together with the words should be something like this. I've known it from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind where you belong. Now, what's cool about this is if you've made it to this point, you know the whole song because the end here goes back to the chorus, starts with measure 25, but measures 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32, all 8 of those bars are exactly the same as the chorus that we played earlier in the song, measures 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They are exactly identical. It's exactly the same part. So after you've played that bridge, you go back to the chorus and you just play that chorus once through. Sounds something like this. And then what you do is you skip ahead now to measure 33, and 33 and 34 are the last ones of the measure, but here's the kicker. Measure 33 is exactly the same as measure 31. It's just this part here. And measure 34 just ties to measure 33, letting that C chord that we played at the end of it just continue to ring. It's the ending of the song. And what I like to do on measure 33 is slow it down, make it more musical, a little bit more rubato, that sort of feel. So all that section D is of the tab is playing section B again and just repeating one little measure at the end. That's all there is to it. And so this is what it sounds like. Here's the whole final chorus. You'll notice, again, it's exactly the same as what we played earlier. I'm just adding 2 extra bars, which is just playing the Make You Feel My Love line. So that sounds something like this, starting at 25. And that wraps up the whole song. It's pretty cool. Really good songs have repetition in them. You'll notice that we effectively played the chorus 3 times, right? Because we played it to start and then we repeated it, then we went to the bridge, then we went to the chorus again. As a little quick music theory aside, this is called an AABA format. It's a very common musical format where you think of the first melody as the A and the second melody as the B. Well, there's the A melody again, different melody, and then the first melody to kind of wrap it up. But enough about that. I hope you've enjoyed working on this. This was a blast to arrange. It's such a beautiful melody. If you haven't checked out both Bob Dylan's versions and Adele's version, please do, because they are just haunting. As always, if you want to check out more of these lessons, be sure to check out my Patreon page, where every single month I do a lesson based on the vote of my patrons. So if you are a patron, thank you so much for the support. I so appreciate it. It's thanks to you guys that I'm able to do these videos and these lessons, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of them in the future. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much.